Lacey here, the Sweet Pea Chef, and I hope you brought your appetite with you today because we're gonna be making all the spring rolls like ever. We're gonna be doing 5 healthy spring roll recipes and a unique dipping sauce for each one of them. Spring rolls are so fun and healthy and super easy, so let's get started. So in order to make spring rolls, you need the wrapper, and those are called rice paper wrappers. And so what you do with them is you don't have to cook them or anything, you just have to get them softened with some water, and I'll show you how to do that. The great thing about spring roll wrappers is they don't require any cooking, so you don't have to add any added fats or oils in order to get them to be a tasty spring roll, which makes them healthy. Plus, they're just made with rice flour, tapioca flour, salt, and water, so very simple ingredients. In order to get your rice paper flexible, all you have to do is moisten it. And so you do that either by dipping it into some warm water for about 3 to 4 seconds, or you can have it under some running water. Then you want to lay it out onto a flat, clean surface, and in about 30 seconds, it's going to be ready to roll. It's very simple, and during that time, get all of your ingredients ready to start topping your spring roll. So let's start off with our vegetarian rainbow spring rolls with a ginger peanut sauce. These are super good. Just start prepping your rice paper and lay it flat down on your surface. Then we're gonna top it with a few ingredients that are gonna be in a rainbow, starting with some sliced red bell peppers, thinly sliced carrots, sliced yellow bell pepper, fresh mint and cilantro for our green, and some thinly sliced red cabbage. Then, in order to close our spring roll and roll it on up, we're gonna fold the end nearest the red bell peppers all the way over to the end part by the cabbage. Then we're gonna fold in the sides so it's all enclosed, kind of like a burrito. And then we're gonna roll it as tightly as we can until it meets the end. And then ideally you'll have it completely nice and tight in there, no extra air. Then you just repeat with the remaining ingredients. I love this ginger peanut sauce that we're gonna make to go with it. All you have to do is in a small mixing bowl, combine some creamy peanut butter, low sodium soy sauce, raw honey, freshly squeezed lime juice, a little bit of chili paste. If you don't have chili paste, you can use some crushed red pepper flakes, and some fresh grated ginger. Then just stir this until it's smooth. If it's a little bit too thick, you can always pop it in the microwave to get it a little bit smoother for you. These rainbow rolls are so awesome. You have the crunchy veggies that are tasty and raw, and then you have that delicious spicy peanut sauce to go with it. It's super good. If you're curious if spring rolls are healthy for you, the answer is yes. Not only are they half the calories and fat of a regular fried egg roll, they also allow you to just pack in a ton of fresh raw veggies and produce to get you your vitamins and your nutrients, and they're also low in calories, so good job. Next, we're gonna make some shrimp spring rolls with a spicy almond dipping sauce. These are so good. Just like before, we're gonna prep our rice paper and lay it out flat. And then we're going to start with a little bit of sliced cucumber, followed by some carrots cut into matchsticks, some green leaf lettuce, some fresh mint leaves, and then follow that up with some shrimp that has been fully cooked with a little bit of olive oil, sea salt, and black pepper. You definitely want to make sure you have all of your meats cooked when you're making these spring rolls because there's going to be no cooking once you roll it up. So raw meat in a spring roll does not a happy spring roll make. Then we're gonna take the bottom of the spring roll wrapper nearest the cucumber and roll it all the way as tight in by the shrimp as you can. Fold in the sides and then fold the rest of it all the way up as tightly as you can, and then repeat with the remaining ingredients. All right, now we're gonna make our spicy almond dipping sauce that goes with our shrimp spring rolls. This is a super easy 4-ingredient dipping sauce. All you have to do is combine in a small bowl some almond butter, followed by hoisin sauce, some sriracha, and some rice wine vinegar, and stir that together. Again, if you find that the sauce is just a little bit too thick and the almond butter is just a little bit not smooth enough, you can always pop it in the microwave for a few seconds. That'll help it out. Shrimp is probably my favorite protein to add into spring rolls because the flavor and the texture is just a great combo. Plus, pair it with this spicy almond dipping sauce and you have got a very tasty little meal going. If you're looking for where to find some rice paper for your spring roll wrappers, you can find them at most grocery stores in the Asian section. They're just like $30 for a pack of 30, so it's a really good food to have on a budget. And I love that you can just use 1 pack for pretty much all of the recipes we're using today. Next, we're making a sesame, avocado, and red cabbage spring roll with a honey miso dipping sauce. And yes, it's totally as tasty as it sounds, and it sounds pretty tasty. In order to prep our avocado, we need to have them crusted in sesame seeds. So we need to combine some black sesame seeds with some white sesame seeds in a small mixing bowl. And then we're gonna get our avocado slices and dip them into our sesame mixture. This is gonna get them nicely coated. You definitely wanna use avocados that are not extremely ripe for this recipe. You want them to have a little bit of firmness to them. So that's gonna let them hold up a little bit better in the sesame mixture and then also in your spring roll wrapper. So lay out your prepped spring roll wrapper, and then we're gonna add in some sliced red cabbage that's been very thinly sliced, some fresh mint leaves, and then our sesame coated avocado slices. I like to put about 2 or 3 in there depending on how large they are. Then we're gonna take the end of the spring roll wrapper that's nearest the cabbage and we're gonna roll it in as close as we can to the avocado. Then we're gonna fold in the sides as tight as possible and then very carefully roll it on up into our tasty spring roll. To make our honey miso dipping sauce, we're going to add a little bit of miso paste into a small bowl. It can be red or white miso paste, followed by a little bit of water, some raw honey, rice wine vinegar, low sodium soy sauce, and a little bit of sesame oil. Then we're gonna stir all of that together until it's fully mixed. These sesame, avocado, and red cabbage spring rolls are so tasty. They look super cool, and they are super delicious with our honey miso dipping sauce. Big thumbs up. If you're paleo and you want to avoid the rice paper, you can just easily switch that out for some collard greens or some fresh lettuce leaves. Very easy. Next, we're making some tasty garlic chicken spring rolls with an avocado cilantro dipping sauce. Super good. So we're gonna prep our spring roll wrappers, have it flat, and then add in some sliced cucumber, followed by some iceberg lettuce for a little crunch, and then some diced chicken, which has been fully cooked in a little bit of olive oil, sea salt, ground black pepper, and garlic powder. Make sure again that you cook all of your chicken first and we don't put any raw meat into the spring roll. So grab the end of the spring roll wrapper nearest the cucumber and then fold it as close to the diced chicken as you can. Fold in the sides and then roll it on up as tightly and as gently as you possibly can. Then repeat with the remaining ingredients. These garlic chicken spring rolls are very tasty, plus they're high in protein, which is great because they're also low in calories. So it's a really good option if you're trying to cut out calories, but also eat a high protein diet. Now let's make our creamy avocado cilantro dipping sauce, which I also use in my Cobb salad recipe as a dressing. It's very tasty and it's super easy. All you have to do is in a food processor or a blender, add in some fresh avocado, plain Greek yogurt, unsweetened almond milk, or any milk of your choice, fresh cilantro, garlic powder, or a fresh clove of garlic if you prefer, sea salt, and some freshly squeezed lime juice. We're gonna blend all this together until it's very fully smooth. You want it to be a little bit runny, so if you need to add a little bit more milk to help it out, that's totally fine. The creamy avocado cilantro dip goes so well with the garlic chicken, and then you got the crunch from the cucumbers and the lettuce. Super tasty. Spring rolls are best if eaten fresh, but you can store them in the fridge. Just wrap them individually in some saran wrap and then place them in the fridge for up to 2 days. The wrappers will get a little bit more rubbery as it's in the fridge because it just dries out a little bit, but it's still tasty. All right, I have saved our sweet treat for last. We are gonna be making some sweet kiwi strawberry spring rolls with a honey lime dipping sauce. These are probably my favorite spring roll recipe in this whole list. I just love fresh fruit, and so let me show you how to make it. We're gonna prep our spring roll wrapper just like before and lay it down flat onto our surface. Then we're going to add in some fresh mango that's been cut into thin strips, followed by some diced kiwi, and then some sliced strawberries. I like to line the strawberries up in a row because it's gonna look really cool when we fold everything over. So grab the end of the rice wrapper nearest the mango and fold it all the way as close as you can to the sliced strawberries. Then carefully fold the sides in, and then using your hands, just roll the rest up as tightly and as neatly as possible, and then you have a tasty, fruity spring roll. For our sweet and sour honey lime dipping sauce, in a small mixing bowl, we're gonna combine some fresh squeezed lime juice with some freshly squeezed lemon juice, raw honey, and some lime zest. and then stir that all together. If you find that the flavor is just a little bit too tart, you can add in a little bit more water to dilute it a little. These fruity spring rolls are super tasty, really fresh, and definitely addicting. Now you have 5 healthy spring rolls that you can make, each one with a unique flavor and texture combination. This is a great way to add some more raw vegetables and fruits into your diet. Plus, they're super easy and fun and healthy, and a great way to cut down on calories and extra added fats that we just don't need. Let me know in the comments below which one looks the best to you and which one you're gonna make first. I would love to know. Also, if you're looking for more ways to eat fresh, healthy, delicious veggies, I have a chicken Cobb mason jar salad recipe video that you definitely wanna check out. It's really tasty too. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.